Hey guys, Keithy here. Thanks for watching. Hope you're doing good. Today's video is something different. I'm at work, getting a little bit dirty today, and it's friggin' cold, which is why I'm in this as well. Just thought I'd do up a video today, something very different to what I've done before. I wanted to talk about fly-in, fly-out workers, the life, sometimes not so glorious things about fly-in, fly-out work, and maybe things that you, if you're at home and you've got a hubby or a missus that does fly-in, fly-out, things that you might not think of, and then things from a fly-in, fly-out worker's perspective. Just something to draw from, to open up sort of that mysterious world of fly-in, fly-out. So I'm going to start it with a couple of comments. So a lot of people seem to think that a fly-in, fly-out worker goes to this magic resort, earns lots of money, drinks beer, watches footy and fucks around. This applies for both guys and girls obviously here. I'm just going to talk in the guy sense because that's what I am. And to some it is, you know, like you get the single blokes out there, young fellas, get a lot of money, like to piss it up, go home, do the same thing. Good on them. You get the blokes that are older, a little bit older, they've been married for 20 years or 30 years or however long they've been married. They're having a great time out here, do the same ritual every day. Get home, have a feed, have a beer with the boys, and go have a yarn to the missus and go to bed. Rinse and repeat. And then you get this sort of that age group where I am, where you've got a combination of blokes in their sort of 30s and 40s and whatnot. And some of them are single, some of them married, some of them are like myself, just got a girlfriend. But no wedding ring or anything like that. But what I wanted to talk about today is sort of to break down that vision, that concept that these fly-in, fly-out workers just happen to fly out to this magical fucking place and it's a resort and there's a getaway from home and all that other kind of shit. Now that's not true. It might be true for some guys out there. I can't speak for everyone. Might not be happy at home. They'd rather be at fucking work and get away from everything. And then there's other guys, and I was talking to one of the blokes out here. He's got some issues at home at the moment. And it's really hard. It's the way that a lot of people cope when they're away from loved ones is really different. Everyone copes differently. Everyone has this different outlook on life and where they want to be and whatnot. Anyway, this bloke, he's had a bit of a barney with his missus, and he's a bit upset. Doesn't seem to be able to communicate with her. I don't know whether he thinks that maybe she doesn't understand what happens out there. So I'll break it down a little bit as best I can. So what happens is, most people, I work on the surface, you could be underground, you could be on a bloody dump truck, you could be a fitter or whatever. Most guys will come to work and normal mining hours, usually you do 6 to 6 or 5 to 5. I do 5 to 6, so I do 13 nowadays. You go to work, you do your time, you do what you got to do at work. You go home and it's not a resort, eh? It's not a very beautiful place. You get fed for nothing, and don't have to worry about the dishes or anything like that. That's pretty cool. Part of the fly-in, fly-out thing, but it's not about coming out and doing nothing and escaping chores or whatever you want to call it. Like at the end of the day, out in the FIFO world, it doesn't matter what camp you've at. You've been to one, you've been to them all. They're all just a tiny little matchbox you live in. And a lot of blokes just want to go home and kick the boots off and have a yarn to the missus and go to bed. You know, that's the highlight of their day. But I think sometimes the message can be sort of not received, I guess, for lack of a better word. Sometimes the stay-at-home mums or the wives or whatever of these FIFO workers don't really understand how isolated it actually is. You've got all your mates at work and supervisors and bar staff and whatever out there, but when you go back to that room, it's a box with a bed, and some of them have got tellies and showers and whatnot. And a lot of, like this old mate, he looks forward to going home at the end of the day and having a yarn to the missus, but a lot of the time she doesn't understand that, and she's got kids of her own, good on her. So he reckons he's tried to talk to her about it and say, listen, like, do what you got to do, feed the kids, get them to bed, have a bit of time to yourself. But he really appreciates this bloke if his missus would actually offer him a little bit more of her time. The things can be rough at home, but you got to remember that the bloke's bringing shit to work. It's not good for your health. Especially when you're stuck in a little box, you're stuck inside your own head as well, and you can tend to think. And this poor lad, he's not doing real well at the moment. And I pulled him up because I could see that he was having a rough trot. And that's what you got to do out here. If you see someone that doesn't look like they're coping real well, pull them up, have a yarn. Don't be afraid to talk, especially if you're the one with the issues. Don't be afraid to have a yarn to your workmates or supervisor or whatever you got to do. Get things off your chest. Because at the end of the day, if you go to bed every night in a matchbox with shit on your mind, and it's bad shit, it's going to keep building up, compounding, and then you might turn into something worse. I mean, you hear about a lot of suicides in the fly-in, fly-out game, and most of the time, I can guarantee you, it's got to do with issues at home that are not quite right. The guy just can't seem to get the message across to his missus that something's not right. They might not want to talk. Everyone's entitled to some time to themselves, absolutely, especially at home. You've got to feed the kids, you've got to go to work, whatever you got to do. But please, if you're that wife at home or girlfriend or daughter even, keep in mind that it's very isolated out here, and any issues that these blokes have got on their mind runs around in circles and keeps going and going. It doesn't stop. So if you've got something going on, if you've had a tiff with your hubby or wife or whatever, whoever's flying in and out, sort it out. Sort it out there and then, hey. Like, get onto it, resolve the issue. The key to the fly-in, fly-out relationship is communication. It's the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing. I've had my share of girls over the years. I had a long-term one, had a child with her, and every relationship I've been in while I've been working out, I've been here for 14 years at the same place, is communication breakdown that has let every relationship down. I've been cheated on a few times as well. I'm not going into that. But at the end of the day, it is communication that's ruined relationships, but it's also hurt mental health, and old mate is feeling it now. And I've had my experiences in the past, but this just sort of rehashed for me how important it is to communicate with your loved ones openly about how you're feeling, what's going on at home, and anything like that. It eases their mind, so they don't go to bed in that little matchbox with shit on their mind, feeling really bad, waking up and wanting to hurt themselves and do something stupid. Keep that in mind, guys. I can speak from personal experience on this one, that you really, really need to be open, honest, trusting, and loving. If you've got a partner that flies in and out, because it's really hard to fly away from home every week. It's the last thing you want to do. Pays the bills. You come out here to pay the bills. I don't come out where I work because I love the scenery or I like the sound of mining equipment. I come out here because it pays the mortgage, pays the bills. I can support my daughter and my missus. That's the only reason we do it. So make sure that you're thinking about them, even if you've got the shits with them. Because at the end of the day, any negative impacts and bad shit that goes on between you and hubby, wifey, whoever, it really has a serious impact on them when they're out here and they're away from everything. They can't be there with you to resolve things. So if you fail to communicate with them because you got the shits or whatever, amplify that by 100, and that's what hubby's feeling. He can't be there to talk to you through the problems, through any issues. He can't be there to support you if something goes on, a car breaks down, or one of the kids breaks a leg or something like that. He's at work. He's a long way away from home to be able to help you out there. The biggest thing for the mental health is look after him, love him, be honest, be truthful. Don't fuck around. I tell you what, I mean that last one too. I absolutely despise cheaters. So yeah, if you're cheating on your partner and they're out in the mines, or if you're out in the mines and cheating on your partner, wake up to yourself. There's nothing good going to come of it. Be honest, be open, be yourself. So every time someone takes a hit, it drops their confidence. Every time. It's really hard to get that back. Same with trust. So you need to make sure that you're really open with your communication and a FIFO worker. If you've got any questions, guys, chuck them down. I'll answer them. I'm going to probably do up another couple of videos on this, and really sorry I haven't done any other videos with the cars or the four-wheel driving or anything like that lately. I have been really busy. But yeah, thanks for your time. If you feel like it, hit subscribe. That'd be great. Thumbs up. Yeah, I really want to bring this to light, this mental health thing. Like, don't be afraid to talk, guys, too. If you're out in the mines, you've got issues going on, the missus is being a bitch or whatever, talk to someone. Get it off your chest. If they won't talk to you, just all good. One day they might. If they don't, fly home, sort it out when you get home. But you need to make sure that you've got communication, and if you're the issue, then maybe just have a bit of a think about what's going on, why you're the issue. Someone's not communicating with you for any reason. I've been guilty of this myself. It's very hard, and it's a very fine line between fucking someone's day and having a great night. And the most important thing is that you go to work and you come home for your family, make all these life plans, do what you're going to do, get on the boat, go fishing, and live. But don't live to work, just work to live. See you later, guys.